Hello and welcome to Afterlife Topics. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel or becoming a patron at patreon.com/Afterlife Topics.
Hello everybody, welcome to Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics once again. This is your host, Cyrus, and I had a quick topic to talk about today. And it's the concept of thought-assisted evolution, consciousness-directed speciation, a field that I don't think really exists yet, but it was something that I've postulated about for many years. And I'm bringing this up because the topic came up on my last live stream, and strangely, it was cut off in the middle of it. So I had a live stream a couple days ago using my dowsing rods, which, if you guys are following this channel, are extremely accurate. It sends me information in other languages, things that I don't know about until I Google it. My spirit guide contact, who is the entity that I am allegedly in communication with, will send me recipes in other languages. If I ask for a recipe, she'll send me some Indian dish I never heard of until I Google it. And I have examples of this on the channel. So that's the very quick recap. The point is that we were asking a bunch of different concepts and questions to the rods in the live chat a couple days ago. And about 55 minutes into it, the chat screen just cut off. And it interrupted what we were doing, but I had people on Facebook sending me the messages, and I don't know how this happened. I've never seen YouTube do that before. And then a viewer asked the question, did human life arise from evolution, from God, or from extraterrestrials? Which was a pretty fun question. And so I decided to transcribe a sentence from the rods about which one is it? Is it nature? Is it evolution? Or is it God? Is it extraterrestrials? And then in the middle of that, mysteriously, again, it just cut off. And so let me play the clip so you see what happened. So first somebody asks about the Big Bang, and it's followed up with the question about where did life originate from?
Here's a great one. I don't know who is asking this. Was the Big Bang real? That's a yes. I think the Big Bang. I mean, I don't think that the Big Bang was the Big. Do you have anything else you want to add as well with nature?
So there you go. Something strange happened. It just cut off. Now, I did get the other half of that communication. So she had spelled out nature as the response. Then she spelled out A-N-D, and then she spelled out, well, the rest of that can be seen in the video. It comes up T-H-O-U. I asked if she was spelling out thoughts, and the answer was yes. And then I came to find that this was a very profound answer because it relates to something that I've postulated, which is that we've often had this dialectic, which, like so many dialectics in our Western society, is completely wrong. It's like you get to choose between two different paths, and both paths are misdirection, which is that it's not just nature that causes speciation, it causes a new species to develop or allowed humans to exist, but it's a combination of nature and a self-directed consciousness process of organisms themselves, which I think ties in very well to epigenetics, which is a field concerning self-directed changes or consciousness-directed changes in an organism of some type, which is a proven fact at this point. So you simply take this one extra step and propose that, okay, so organisms are evolving, quote, naturally, but nothing is just completely random and meaningless. This is what the materialist intelligentsia proposes and forces down our throats, that the universe is a meaningless, randomly directed process based on Newtonian physics of billiard balls shooting and spinning in random directions. Life originated because basically a bunch of inert matter, little soap bubbles basically, caught debris inside of those soap bubbles, and then as the soap bubbles were moving around in a primordial ooze, they began to animate themselves and compete amongst each other, and so began the process of life. The idea that even single-celled organisms originated from soap bubbles collecting debris, also in my mind shows intelligent life forms springing up out of nothing, out of inert matter. Now, in my second book, I talk about a deeper dive into this concerning some very unusual research about how life forms actually can originate based on inert matter and how this can be observed in a laboratory. Very unusual, very strange research. You'll have to check out my second book for more about that. But the point is that it seems like things are originating via nature, but materialist science forgoes the consciousness of organisms themselves. And so this answer that I got through these divining rods, which I think it's irrelevant, it's just a topic at hand, whether or not the rods spelled out nature and thoughts, or I'm just bringing this up because I want to bring it up. It doesn't really matter that much because it's a subject that is in itself very interesting. And I'm grateful that my communicator and that the chatters and the people participating in the live stream brought this to my attention. But it is actually something that I've kind of wanted to talk about for a long time and sort of forgot about. And it's just that as much as we can respect biology, or you have the great names in biology, Dawkins, for example, there is this enormous blind spot, and there's always so many blind spots in modern science, but it is just the self-directing power of consciousness. So I want to bring your attention to just an example of the wonders of what is considered to be random evolution, random survival of the fittest based gene allocation, and what so-called random mutations can result in. And this is, of course, the mimic octopus. And take a close look at this bush that you see on the screen in the bottom right. And I'm sure you have an idea what this bush is about to do. And to me, it still blows my mind the types of things that we can find in nature.
What makes a marine biologist scream?
Now, if that's not magical, I don't know what is. Of course, there was a bunch of more examples on this YouTube video.
I thought I was having a dive accident.
When actually he was having...
It was a eureka moment, there's no doubt. I popped at the surface, it was only about 5 feet deep, and I screamed bloody murder, and they thought I was having a dive accident.
When actually he was having...
It was doing what we call the moving rock trick.
I'm a rock. Now watch this.
So the amazing thing is that these animals are colorblind, yet they are capable of creating color-matched patterns. But we don't know how.
But of course Hanlon would like to. And one way he's studying this is by looking closely at squid skin.
Okay, so the question is that are these random mutations, or is it a self-directed consciousness process? Because, look, I'm with you guys. I'm not into this idea, God came down and created all these species, or, that Jesus was riding on the back of a pterodactyl 2,000 years ago. You know how things got really ridiculous with Christian theology. But then there's the blind mechanics of evolution, which I'm not really buying that much. So the nice in-between area, and also discounting the idea that aliens came down and planted all the species on our planet. That to me is just like one step removed from the theology. The hidden variables that yes, things evolve naturally, things came out of nature, but it was a self-directed, consciousness-based process. So that over millions of years, an individual organism decides that I want to evolve in this particular way. As Mr. Octopus, I want to begin having the ability to camouflage myself, or be able to transform myself into anything in the environment, to be able to hide myself. And this intention actually affects what we want to call the group collective, the group soul of the octopus. and gradually it begins manifesting it into reality, allowing these very fast evolutionary periods where really even hundreds of millions of years is too short a time for an animal to go from the Precambrian, basically going from a soap bubble with debris in it into the Precambrian or Cambrian explosion, where you had suddenly all kinds of invertebrates and strange-looking creatures all over the ocean, to suddenly you have octopuses, and you have creatures that can do things like this, because it is a short amount of time if it's just based on random mutations and survival of the fittest. So the idea of consciousness-assisted evolution kind of puts those pieces together and provides a clearer picture about the importance of thought and consciousness in nature. That's my theory, that's my idea, I should say my hypothesis, and I'm sticking to it. And, pretty much want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Does this make sense as a possible alternative explanation about where species originate? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Come on as a patron if you want to work with me personally, or join our roundtable discussions or live interviews. All that's at the $30 level for you guys who want to get involved in the channel on that level. And what else? I guess that's it for today's video. Just want to propose some ideas to get us all thinking in new and innovative ways, which is pretty much what this channel is all about. All right, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.